Hello, dear viewers. Welcome to episode 9 of Interviews with Artificial Intelligence Virtual Sami. In this episode, I will ask Virtual Sami to explain things that are difficult to understand as if explaining to a 10-year-old child. Let's see how he will explain and what answers he will give. Please join me in watching together. Please note that the answers given by the AI may be incomplete or incorrect. It is recommended to gather information from different sources, confirm the accuracy of the answers, and consult with experts for critical and important decisions. Why don't the waters on the earth pour off if the earth is round? Can you explain it to me like I'm a 10-year-old?
Of course. The earth is round, and many things on its surface, like water, are affected by its roundness. The water on the surface of the earth takes the shape of the roundness thanks to the force of gravity, and it does not flow down the slopes on the earth's surface. To explain further, every point on the surface of the water feels a gravitational force pulling it towards the center of the earth. This force keeps the water on the surface and prevents it from flowing downwards at any point. Water only flows down sloping surfaces or where gravity is not present. In short, the waters cannot flow downward because the earth is round, but they remain on the surface by clinging to it due to the force of gravity and roundness. This can be explained by the force of gravity and the roundness of the earth.
If gravity suddenly disappeared, what would happen to the water on Earth?
If gravity suddenly disappeared, the behavior of water on Earth would be quite different. This is because gravity is the main force that holds water on the Earth's surface. If this force disappeared, the movement of water would be completely unrestricted, and it would move randomly across the Earth's surface. Firstly, most of the water would move towards the surface, and the surfaces of bodies of water such as oceans, lakes, and rivers would empty out. Then, the evaporation of water into the atmosphere would increase, and the water molecules that evaporate would condense in the atmosphere and fall as rain or snow. However, without the force of gravity, gases in the atmosphere would also spread out into space and air pressure would decrease. This would accelerate the spreading of water vapor in the atmosphere, causing even more water to mix in the atmosphere. As a result, most of the water on Earth's surface would mix into the atmosphere, and there would be no remaining bodies of water on the Earth's surface. Therefore, gravity is the most important factor determining the behavior of water on Earth. If gravity disappeared, the behavior of water would change completely and there would be no remaining bodies of water on the Earth's surface.
In a world where gravity suddenly disappears, could you explain the disaster that humans would likely experience in the first hour, as if you were explaining it to a 10-year-old child?
Sure, the sudden disappearance of gravity can lead to a disaster. Firstly, everything will fall and nothing will stay on the surface. Buildings, trees, cars, and other objects will start to float and can hit anything in their path. Similarly, people will also float and then fall to the ground. These falls can cause serious injuries. Additionally, without gravity, an air current will form towards the upper layers of the atmosphere. This causes the air on the Earth's surface to move towards the atmosphere, making it difficult for people to breathe and can lead to health problems such as swelling and bleeding in the blood vessels due to low atmospheric pressure. Moreover, without gravity, the seas will also rise from their positions and invade coastal areas. This situation can cause tsunamis and flooding disasters. Because of all these reasons, life would become very difficult for humans if gravity suddenly disappeared. Many people can suffer serious injuries and health problems, and natural disasters may occur. Therefore, the importance of gravity in our lives is significant, and without it, our lives would be almost impossible.
Could you explain to a 10-year-old child why we don't feel the Earth's fast rotation?
Sure, the Earth does indeed rotate quickly, but we don't feel it. The reason is that the speed of the Earth's rotation is constant, and we also rotate with the Earth's movement. When we travel in a car or train, we feel the motion because the vehicle moves while we remain still. However, when we rotate with the Earth, our movement remains the same. The things we see, such as objects, buildings, trees, etc., are also rotating with us. Furthermore, the Earth's rotation speed is quite slow, and it takes only 24 hours to complete our full rotation. Therefore, we don't feel the movement, because the speed is too slow. However, some people can feel the Earth's rotation. For example, when a child swings on a swing, they may feel as if they are not going anywhere because the swing moves back and forth while the Earth rotates with them. In conclusion, the Earth rotates quickly, but we don't feel the movement because our motion is constant and the rotation speed is slow.
How can I feel the Earth's rotation?
Feeling the Earth's rotation is quite difficult, because the rotation is very slow and we do not feel the movement, because our motion is constant. However, some people can feel the rotation of the Earth under certain conditions. Here are some of them. 1. Losing balance and stumbling. If you are on a rapidly spinning platform or swinging on a swing, you may feel the rotation due to changes in direction. 2. Movement of stars. Observing the stars in the sky is the most common way to observe the Earth's rotation. If you observe the stars at night and look again after a while, you will see that their position has changed. 3. Coriolis effect. Due to the rotation of the Earth, water in the sink or air masses spinning in different directions can be observed in the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. Therefore, while it is difficult to feel the rotation of the Earth directly, you can observe it indirectly through some of the above methods.
Despite the vast amount of information, images, and videos about the Earth, why do some people claim that the Earth is flat?
Those who claim that the Earth is flat generally do not have scientific evidence, and their claims are incorrect. However, some people may advocate this theory because these ideas are often spread through social media and the internet, and for some, rejecting those who oppose their views can become a way of creating a group identity or belittling them. Additionally, some people may claim that the Earth is flat to oppose scientific institutions and authorities, or to demonstrate their defiance against authority. However, scientific evidence shows that the Earth is round, and the mathematics, physics, and observations on which this evidence is based have ended debates about the shape of the Earth.
When I throw a piece of iron up in the air, it falls down to the ground. But how can airplanes, which weigh tons, fly in the air? Can you explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old?
Gravity tries to pull everything on Earth towards the ground. So when we throw a small object like a piece of iron up in the air, gravity pulls it down and causes it to fall to the ground. However, airplanes are designed with a special structure that allows them to stay in the air. The wings of an airplane create an upward lifting force while the plane is flying. When this lifting force is greater than the weight of the airplane, the plane can stay in the air. This lifting force is created by the airplane's fast movement in the shape of its wings. As the air flows over the curved top of the wing, it has to travel a greater distance than the air flowing under the flat bottom of the wing. This causes the air to speed up and creates an upward lifting force. Additionally, the airplane's engines provide the power to move the plane forward and upward. This allows the plane to overcome the force of gravity and stay in the air.
How do ships weighing tons not sink? Can you explain in a simple way?
Sure, I can explain simply. A ship has a specially designed structure to float on the water. The ship has a large lifting force that is pushed towards the water to maintain its position on the surface of the water. This force opposes the weight of the ship and keeps it afloat on the water. This is due to the shape and size of the ship. The hull of the ship creates an upward force to maintain its position on the water surface, because the water has different densities above and below it. Also, the hull of the ship displaces more water than its weight, creating a force that is pushed towards the water. However, there may be some situations where ships can sink. For example, if a ship takes on water and the weight on the ship exceeds the lifting force, the ship may start to sink. Also, if a ship hits land too fast, it can cause damage to the structure of the ship and cause it to sink. Therefore, it is important to load ships in a balanced manner and use them carefully.
Why do rockets or meteors sometimes burn up in the atmosphere? Can you explain simply, like to a 10-year-old child?
Sure, I can explain in a simple way. Rockets or meteors reach very high speeds while cruising above the atmosphere, and they enter the atmosphere at these speeds. The atmosphere is an obstacle in front of high-speed objects and causes friction on the object. Friction produces heat on the surface of the object and increases its temperature. This high temperature can cause the materials on the surface of the object to burn or melt. Rockets have specially designed protective coatings, and meteors are naturally durable, but they can still experience extreme heating and wear when they enter the atmosphere. Therefore, it is important for objects entering the atmosphere to be heat resistant.
How do researchers know the elements in the structure of stars and planets that have not been visited before and which only appear as a single light?
Using tools such as telescopes and spectroscopes, researchers can detect the elements in the structure of stars and planets that have never been visited before, and obtain information about the properties of these objects. Telescopes collect the light of stars and planets and analyze it to provide information about their characteristics, while spectroscopes separate the light into different wavelengths to study the chemical composition of objects. To detect the elements in the structure of stars, researchers analyze their light and create a spectrum. The spectrum is a colored line obtained by separating the star's light into different wavelengths. The elements in the structure of stars are determined by the frequency and intensity of the lines seen in the spectrum. Similarly, to detect the elements in the structure of planets, researchers look at the surfaces of planets through telescopes and examine the relationship between the wavelength of light and the elements. In some cases, researchers can study the chemical composition of planets using other tools such as dispersed X-ray spectroscopy by sending probes to planets. These methods help researchers detect the elements in the structure of planets and stars, and contribute to understanding fundamental topics such as material cycles in the universe and the origin of life.
Yes, dear viewers, we have come to the end of this section. If you have any questions you would like to ask Sami in the next section, you can write them in the comments section. Have a good day and stay healthy.